Welcome back, intelligent automation community. As usual, we're talking about software robots, but unlike usual, we're going to be covering a little bit more about front office robots. And in fact, this is the first of a two-part little series that I'm doing following up from the third Thursday covering automating the front, middle, and back office. As consumers, we can connect with companies through a huge range of channels like phone, email, social media, messaging apps, and chatbots. Ideally, companies want a seamless omni-channel experience where customers get consistent responses through every channel. However, as new data and systems are introduced, it's increasingly difficult for companies to keep up with keeping everything integrated. The result is something that one of my customers describes as a multi-channel inconsistent experience. Companies can improve this by utilizing pre-built integrations between, let's call it broad, rapid process automation technologies and more context-centered focused technologies like Core AI, Avaya, CallMiner, Genesis, and 24/7 AI. The big benefit of utilizing these complementary hyper-automation technologies comes into play when you don't think of them just as a front office solution or a back office solution. Instead, they can be used as a way for digital assistants to aggregate fragmented experiences together that cross the front, middle, and back office. This is the conversation that we started on the third Thursday on May 20th. I'll link below if you missed it, and again, try to ignore the problems with the video feed. Remember, this is what it usually looks like. Also, Emma, I'll make sure to get that sign in the mail for you tomorrow. At the same time as the third Thursday live stream, there was something like 5,000 people logged into Blue Prism World. Now, as an attendee to Blue Prism World, I sign up and create a profile just like everybody else. The BP World website also had a chatbot, which is also known as a conversational user interface. And this chatbot was, as you might expect, answering questions for BP World attendees. Now, I don't know about you, but every time I interact with a new chatbot, I have some deep primal need to poke at it, figure out its limitations, and figure out where I can stump it. And if that's you as well, why don't you hit that like button so I know I'm not the only complete weirdo out there. Now, this Blue Prism World chatbot offered to build an agenda of the various different sessions that I may be interested in attending for the conference. And it was actually really good at this, and it served as a great example of automation and cognitive solutions that are scoped to the front office. However, it also showcased the limitations of a team that was probably putting it together that was singularly focused on the conference and singularly focused on the front end side of things without necessarily looking at anything other than the information that I provided in my conference profile. Meanwhile, I know that Blue Prism as a company uses Salesforce.com, Freshdesk for ticketing, and a host of other technologies to support day-to-day operations. I also happen to know that the company is using RPA software robots to automate processes internally that touch all of these various different systems. But as I mentioned on the third Thursday, the team that is focused on the front end of Blue Prism World probably wasn't working closely with the team focused on back office automations, back office work on a day-to-day basis across Blue Prism. If the teams involved with building the applications for the conference were working closely with the teams that automate things internally day to day within the company, imagine how the chatbot user experience could have been improved. Instead of just looking at what I supplied, registering for the conference in my profile, it could potentially build a better agenda for me as an attendee by looking at things in the back-end systems like the size and maturity of my company's RPA program, support ticket topic trends for my company, white paper downloads for my company, probably suggest what we might be interested in, and again, other software that maybe my company uses. Maybe there's technology alliance partners and some agenda points that I might be interested in tuning into. Now, all of that data could come together and be presented to create a more meaningful agenda for me as a conference attendee. However, all of the data I just mentioned is spread across siloed systems across the front, middle, and back office. Everything's disconnected. However, a team that is working top-down across the enterprise more holistically could definitely latch into existing objects and existing processes to quickly extend the capabilities of the BP World Conference chatbot. Now, what's really cool in this is that you could rapidly extend this capability again by latching into existing elements that have already been built out. You don't necessarily need different technology to pull it off. Also, some RPA companies allow their software robots to be used one moment as an internal unattended back office digital worker and then quickly switch over to serve as a front office digital assistant to serve up information to, again, those front end user interfaces. Now, that digital worker versus digital assistant paradigm is the topic for a whole additional video, and in fact, kind of on those lines, I'm prepping now tonight after this for a workshop tomorrow with Microsoft around Power Automate, so stay tuned for maybe some more information on this channel all about that. Hopefully you found this beneficial as a part 1 of 2 follow-up around the third Thursday session from last week around automating the front, middle, and back office. For part 2, or to check out other videos, make sure you like, subscribe, bookmark this, check back in a couple days. I'll have the second part up. Thanks again, Intelligent Automation community.
I'll be back.